Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakadash.
The bottom to the apostle nails, the great millstone, peace, salutation to your brother doing work, sincerity, and truth. So the times are kind of, the days of, times that we're in are different. The days, the time, and the world is, against, the men of the Lord, because basically the spiritual demon Satan, it's like a roaring lion, man. He jumping on niggas. The spirit is on men. Even you get the spirit on yourself, when it gets hard for you when you trying to work this. When you're working in the truth, things. You see the world as you try to go through the world. You navigate fucking lust demons. Everything is about you, but still, you still got to endure hardness. You gotta fight, man. You gotta fight for this thing, man. Nobody never said it was easy, Even if it was a job, you gotta fight, man. You gotta fight through that. You gotta fight through the hell that you're gonna endure. The world is not gonna give you shit. Our Lord and Savior had to endure niggas. That was hard to know what they were thinking, to know what they were attempting to do, what they wanted to do. And it's just not gonna stop until Yahushua come. He had to endure. So what make us more special than Yahushua, our Lord and Savior, man? He had to endure. We gonna have to endure. You gonna have to get that bulletproof suit type thing and deflect some of this wiles of the devil, because there ain't no way we're gonna not go through emotions in this world. We're not gonna be able to, have everything we want. We're not gonna be able, because you think about it, if you're in the truth for $10 million, man, hey, you're gonna have to have a special spirit to try to stay in this work, man. That's why you don't see brothers in this work getting that money. Lord willing, we will. If you do have 10 million doing this work, But I'm gonna just say it's kind of rare. I'm just saying it can't be done. Just saying it's kind of rare. Because think about it, Yahushua he had all spiritual power. He had spiritual power at that moment. He could did anything, and he could have just killed niggas, vaporized them. That's hard when you know when you know that you can do something with somebody and
with somebody else. Do it.
Right? He probably knew all type of through the spirit. He knew all type of arcs. You know what I mean? Because he was a spiritual. He knew these things.
The famous quote was, "Think not I can send down the legion of angels."
Well, hey, if he can do that, he can do anything. You know what I mean?
One legion.
Wow.
Can destroy the earth.
So you scoffers, if you heard that, if he can send down, don't you know he could do that? He can do anything.
Yeah, the precept.
Put a nigga in a press real quick. And that's not, the pain you might feel is more extreme than what you might feel. Because, men know pressure point. Pop, man.
Shit, he didn't even have to hit them. He didn't even have to physically hit them.
Was during when the troops came after Yahushua, and they was trying to take all of them rather than just Yahushua only, he stood up and a force field pushed them down and said they fell over.
Yeah, right. He just said.
So
yeah. What he said? I'm he and he.
Yeah, and it said they all fell back. He dropped. He dropped.
Right. We put the air back on the
Centurion.
a Centurion. Yeah. Come on, think about it.
Cut it off.
Yeah.
He could have killed
He
all
could
of
have
them.
did anything.
He could have just killed every single one of them Romans.
But basically, we gotta endure. He had to endure. He had to go through it.
God.
So you gotta suit up. Hey, you gonna have to fight this devil, man. And these deep. It's even one day. I'm looking at my phone this week, and all of a sudden my phone just closed on it, going, and this shit said. Then it opened up YouTube again. I was looking at something else. It closed, opened up YouTube by itself, and then put 999. So that was 666. You know what I mean? Shit like that was demons. You know, they did it all themselves. So, you know, go ahead.
This is Hebrews 2:10. For it became him for whom all things, and by whom are all things, speaking of Yahushua, and bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of our salvation perfect through suffering. So Yahushua, he was made perfect through the sufferings he went through. Same thing as us. We have to go through sufferings to be made perfect in the likeness of Yahushua. Like it says in Hebrews, I'll just get it real quick. This Hebrews 12 in verse 2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our salvation, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh. And it said despising the shame. So even Yahushua, he didn't want to go through all that. He said he despised it. He prayed to the Heavenly Father 3 times for him not to go through it. But at the end of the day, what? He got on the cross, he finished it, and now he's set at the right hand side of the Most High. So now we have to just finish our course through believing in Yahushua, suffering the things we must go through, and just enduring as a good soldier, as Yahushua will want us to. Because Yahushua endured as a good soldier, man. A soldier isn't always about being a mighty man, chopping everybody's head off and running through the battlefield. A soldier is somebody who can keep their mental fortitude through all types of situations, man. Mm-hmm. And Yahushua came as a spiritual warrior at that point in time, man. And he fulfilled that course. And now when he returns this time, he's gonna fulfill the course of being a mighty lion and destroying everybody.
Yeah, discipline and patience is actually very important aspects of being a soldier.
Yep.
It's along with endurance, being able to endure, and also another thing that makes a good soldier is to be able to improvise when new things. Like I remember dudes I've talked to that were in Vietnam War, and this is when I was in the war because I was already interested in like how did y'all go in the war, and he said basically, as much basic training you thought you learned, forget that, throw that shit out the window. Because ain't nothing can compare you to seeing a fucking tiger jump out of nowhere or some motherfucker with an AK-47 shoot your partner next to you. You know, so part of being a soldier is you gotta be able to improvise. When shit happens, you know, you gotta be able to literally roll with the punches. You gotta be able to, you know, cause hardness comes in different ways, you know, and you gotta be able to endure that. Hardness can come in emotional, you know, your woman leaving you. Imagine you at war and your woman leaves you. How important do you think you're gonna be concerned about that? You know, a soldier that's enduring hardness, that's the least of his concern.
Yeah.
You know.
And not be too much.
Exactly. You're not gonna be concerned about that. So hardness can come in emotional. Hardness can come in, you know, you losing your comrade. You know, we lost a brother that, you know, in Chicago camp, you know, and through the spirit, you know, he's with us still, but, you know, the work keeps, you know, continue going, you know, and that's part of during the hardships. You sometimes even grieve, you know, the way you want to grieve because there's still work that you have to be able to do. You know, we were able to stop our whole GMS Detroit and be able to attend, you know, the Ox, you know, services and funerals. You know, we have to, that's part of the hardest that we had to endure. You know, our last memories of him, you know, have to be just that. You're not going to be able to, you know, on the run, you know, and do things as you want to. You know, you might, in war, you might run out of bullets. You might have to learn how to fight on the spot.
All right.
It don't matter, precinct.
Go ahead.
This is John 17. This kind of follows after what the brother Yukar just said. This is John 17 and 14. I have given them thy word, and the world hath hated them, because they are not of the world, even as I am not of the world. I pray not that thou shouldest take them out of the world,
Yahweh
but that thou should keep them from evil.
He didn't even want us to. He didn't want us to even. He wanted. He wants us to suffer down here. Yahweh doesn't pray to Father that He take us out of here. He wants us to be able to endure as good soldiers, as He endured as a good soldier. Because He knows that's the only way we're going to be made perfect. Is going through the suffering as He did. You got another one.
Now you basically hit it on a nutshell, because like the brother just said, we're here for a good reason. We're here because this is the time where the Most High is going to perfect His chosen men. Israel has been through their ups and downs, and this time the Most High is getting ready to perfect those that He has chosen. And Yahweh Shai has control and has dominion over these men. Lord's will, we be those men. We are going to endure all of the hell and tribulation that we're going through, and plus the things that we are getting ready and prepared to go through in the times to come soon. Lord's will, we endure unto the end. We'll be made perfect in Mashiach. We'll be made perfect in Yahweh Shai. That was pretty much it.
Time. If somebody got another scripture.
Jeremiah 1 and verse 17. Verse 17. This was the Most High speaking to Jeremiah. It says, Thou therefore gird up thy loins and arise and speak unto them all that I command thee. Be not dismayed at their faces, lest I confound thee before them. For behold, I have made thee this day a defenced city and an iron pillar and brassen walls against the whole land, against the kings of Judah, against the priests thereof, against the priests thereof, I'm going to say against the princes thereof, and against the people of the land. So basically, the Most High, He will turn you into what He has to. All right, the scripture says, endure hardness as a good soldier. The elect don't have a choice, like He told Jeremiah. There was a point when Jeremiah said he didn't want to do it, but he didn't have a choice anymore. The word was, what he said, it burned in his bones like fire. All right, the Most High said, I will make you a defense city against all of them. He'll turn you into a one-man army, in which, when you look into the word soldier, the first three letters, soul, having to do with being alone. All right, that's where you get other words like solidarity, solid, solitude, meaning to be alone, which is something that a soldier has to be good at, because every brother is walking their own walk. But through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, if you're enduring, you'll be set up as a defense city, being able to stand against what? Verse 19, and they shall fight against thee, but they shall not prevail against thee, for I am with thee, saith Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, to deliver thee. So also, if you do like what it says in Sirach chapter 2, if you seek unto the Lord unto death, He shall fight for thee.
Right.
All right.
That's another reason. Salat. That's another reason why I said that the angels are encamped around them that fear the Lord.
That was it. Whoever got it.
I got some. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 19. Wisdom strengthened the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. And also, Isaiah 33 and 3, it says, wisdom and knowledge shall be stability of thy time. 33 and 6, slide. 33 and 6. Now read this again. Ecclesiastes 7 and verse 19. Wisdom strengthen the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in the city. And when you learn wisdom, because literally there's no other book that literally tells you what's going to happen in the future. You just don't know the moment, the minute, the hour, the second, the millisecond when everything's going to happen. But nonetheless, we all understand that these prophecies, none of them shall fail. None shall one is made. All of the things that's written about in these scriptures is going to come true, is going to come to pass. And so when you strengthen yourself in these scriptures, there's nothing that Satan can do when you actually pull on your real strength, because bodily exercise profit, very little, but spiritual exercise, when you strength up, there's literally nothing that Satan can do. The more you strengthen, in fact, the more you strengthen yourself, the harder he comes, which becomes more even evident. If you actually in the spirit, you operating in the spirit, you can see, okay, damn, all of a sudden now, everybody out the blue keeps, calling me, asking me to go to parties every time I want to do a video or something like that. You see, like, damn, that's fucking Satan.
Can I grab something real quick? I'll pretty much be done with my piece. This Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
And the power of the Most High's might is the scriptures. That's what we have to be strong in. Because we can't physically do anything against anybody. Physically, we can't hurt anyone. We can whoop somebody's ass, but they call the police on us, and the police can whoop our ass, then they're killers. So it's all about being strong in the power of the Most High's might, which is His word, man. That's why the scriptures say it's strong as a two-edged sword, piercing even the dividing of soul and soul and spirit.
Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Right, you gotta just detach yourself from this world, and you gotta detach yourself from being impulsive. You gotta detach yourself from you gotta detach yourself from everything actually. You gotta, because the wiles of the, we gotta avoid the wiles of the devil. You know what I mean? And that's Satan, and that's what Satan do. That's the so-called white man. All the things that niggas run into. The stuff they run into, the stuff they see, the stuff they have to do. The so-called white man is really the influence. The so-called white man is really the influence of the whole. The so-called white man is really the whole influence of the whole matter, man. That devil, man, is the reason that a lot of things our people are in the predicament that they in. So like yeah, you should just pause it.
It's not letting me.
Okay.
Oh,
Verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Because we gotta avoid this damn devil, man. So read it from the top again. It's like
Okay. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of Yahweh, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
So you gotta withstand this devil, man. We gotta put on the whole armor, suit up, man. Even though you're gonna feel emotional, you're gonna have to go through all type of feelings, and you don't want to go through those things. Hey, it's only sharpening you up. It's only getting you tighter. It's only getting you built up. It's only getting your spirit used to the certain things that's gonna happen, man. You fall on the ground and hurt yourself. Hey, next time it ain't gonna be that bad. Cause when you first start doing it as a kid, it hurt tremendously.
Right.
Hit your head. Yeah, you gonna cry. You might cry each time. But shit, as you get older, you stop. As you got older, you stop crying about the shit that when you fell down or something of that nature. You're building an immunity.
Right.
To the things right here. Even the so-called white man, we're building an immunity against this damn devil, man. When we over here, we're dealing with the word, and we know that's the immunity. Knowing through these scriptures, we build the immunity. Constantly know what we see and what we hear in this world, that the so-called white man is gonna move on. We know. Come on, devil. We know that he's gonna do. And at that time we might be like, damn. And then we might be surprised, might marvel at this thing that's going to happen. But still, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua has put the spirit in a certain man to endure this thing, man. And that to endure is you're going to have to endure hardness, man. You're going to have to be afflicted a lot of times. People see you. Yeah, that's part of this thing. The world is gonna see your endurance, what you would enduring in His work and His will what's going to get you is going to get you the kingdom, man. Enduring to the end. You know,
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
we not. It's not really a. It's not. We're not wrestling against these niggas, man. Really, we're not wrestling against the good Samaritans or the ITR. Hey, look, we're wrestling against not physical, but because it's a spiritual thing. You know, we have to measure up and have to defend the gospel. But you know what? This thing ain't nothing new. So the scripture already told you niggas gonna come in, creep in unawares and do certain things and ravenous wolves and basically the doctrine, they didn't continue in the doctrine that was taught to them and things of that nature. So what we do, we go right here because it made us hard, we already read it. It already calcified, not calcified, but it actually made it calcifies our feelings toward the things that was gonna happen because what we knew that was gonna happen. Why? Because it's written for our learning. You know, so the world could think they can come video us and we're gonna put it on social media. So what? Well, so what? You know, the time is now that we know it's gonna end. Even if we didn't know, even if we didn't have the inclination that this thing was gonna happen, it was gonna happen. This thing was gonna happen regardless. With or without us, the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai has made us men. First of all, you got to stand yourself as a man. And a man endures a lot of things, man. And a man of Yahweh Shem Shai, he gonna withstand his wiles of the devil. You know, a righteous man does fall the 7 times, but he get his ass back up, clean himself off. Hey, you got more?
Against principalities. Another word for principalities is the state or rule of a prince or a ruler. And against powers,
And
against
there
the
it means
rulers.
it means a host of demons in that scripture. It's
Okay,
a host of demons.
because I just looked up the word. And against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Spiritual wickedness in high places. So
That's everywhere.
they sending out every day. They sending out trying to blame us for something that they put in front of us. You know, so talking about this so-called white man, they're sending spells. They're trying to block our spiritual blessing. They like look at your people when they're the ones who assisted in making us go off. You know, and that's the wickedness of this damn devil. He throw rocks and hide his hand. You know, go ahead, bro.
Did that 2 Timothy chapter 2 ever
Never
come out
came
yet?
out.
Okay. You want me to start at 1?
Well, go ahead, Kyle.
Okay, this is 2 Timothy's chapter 2 and verse 1. Thou therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Hamashiach Yahushai, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same commit thou to faithful men who shall be able to teach others also. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushai Hamashiach.
You got to go through the furnace to earn this, man. You got to go through hell. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. You know, you might you got to make sure that you're on line with the word of Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, because it's still a yoke, but he said his burden is light. You know, this thing is hard, but it's not. It's a glorious reward. You know, but we still got times where brothers see each other. We happy to see each other. We got the little spurts, but still it's still not even as heavy as it's going to be. Still got martial law. Still got the spiritual apparitions don't come and things of that nature. But the time is coming because persecution gonna have to come. They're gonna have to come. They're gonna be pointing at them Israelites. You're gonna have people turning against us. But those are written in the scriptures. You're gonna have to endure. Go ahead, bro.
This is 1 Samuel 17 and 8. For he said Hushai, thou knowest thy father and his men, that they be mighty men, and they be chaste in their mind, as a bear robbed of his whelps in the field, and thy father is a man of war, and will not lodge with the people. So that's showing the mindset, mentality Ben had in the ancient world. They were hard men. They weren't ass these pussy boys out here, man. They were hard men of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that's a mindset we have to be in. We have to be in the mindset of that King David's men were in, that King David was. Hard men chafe in the spirit, and men chafe, meaning vex in the spirit, being oppressed by this devil and actually feeling some type of way about it, man. And that's how you're supposed to feel. You're supposed to feel vexed and upset about what the situation we're in under this devil, man. And you're supposed to have a men of war, or a spiritual warlike mindset to be able to endure the things which are about to come upon the earth. Because King David's men, they were catching hell. They were going through all types of perils, but they had that mentality to endure all that through the Spirit.
We have to endure and we have to fight. This is 2 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 7. I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, Yahweh Shai, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto them also that love his appearing. So we have to fight. The elect men are going to fight, okay? And they're going to fight to the end, and guess what? There's later for them a crown of righteousness, okay? And even the prophet Esdras saw that done. If you read Esdras chapter 2 and start at verse 42 and read on down.
And also, crowns are what? For kings. And not for, low-level people, common people. And Yahweh is the King of Kings. And 144,000, they're going to be receiving not only the crowns, they're also going to be receiving the white robes. Now, everybody does get to partake, in the kingdom, so everybody is going to be in the kingdom, but everybody's not going to be on the same status. There's going to be a hierarchy in the kingdom. Everybody is not going to have that shame. Some people are not going to wake up to everlasting life.
Okay, I got a scripture out here. This is James 1:12. It says, "Blessed is to the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to them that love him." So, say, look, if we to endure temptation, to go, man, look, there's temptation every day on this earth. Every day as you make a move, man, you wake up, it's a thought. It's things you could do, but you avoid all that shit because the Most High, Yahweh Shem Shai, put that spirit in you, man, to fight and endure, man. And that's a beautiful spirit, man. And get to receive that crown of life, man, to avoid what you could through the spirit, to the best of your ability, and Yahweh Shem Shai making you endure. He'll have you endure, and for righteous sake, you gotta, to compass this, to compass the wickedness of this world. Compass it, man. Fight, endure, because Yahweh Shem Shai has a beautiful reward for you. Anybody got something else? So with that, I want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach HaKodesh.
Double honor to the apostle. There was a great mystical peace, salutation to the brother who works to say the truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Hang on.